Alright guys, hope you're doing well, hope you're all keeping safe. So I've been eagerly waiting to read this first Intelligence Annex. This is about the Specialization revamp that we heard about a couple of days ago. I've been refreshing and 5 PM, it's live. Let's get straight into this one. Let's find out what's going to happen to the specializations. Some of that I think is underutilized in the game, it underperforms. It's one of those things for me, certainly, that I rarely go into my specializations. I feel like I've got it set up and I don't really need to do a lot with it. I'm hoping it gets changed to a point where it's a lot more deep and it's a lot more impactful in the game. So let's see what's going on. So it says, Agents, as previously communicated, we are back with a new episode of the Intelligence Annex Initiative. Today we are kickstarting things strong with a focus on how we're going to improve one of the key aspects of the game, specializations. While all details will be shared closer to launch, we wanted to give you a first sneak peek about how the team is going to continue to give you more choice in building your perfect agent. To introduce this content, we now leave the floor to Trick Dempsey, expert game designer. Specialization revamp. In the last few years, we've dedicated a lot of time to researching the build used by players in both PvE and PvP content, and we've concluded that specializations are today not reaching their full potential yet. And that's definitely an understatement, like I said. And I think this is the same for a lot of people. Specializations are kind of one of those things that you did initially and you kind of set it up in a way and then you don't really look at it again. And the actual specialization weapons, for me at least, they're not impactful enough in the game. Our objective with specializations is to empower players to create agents who match their playstyle preferences. I like the sound of this already. With our next update, specializations will greatly improve both build diversity and player choice. To do this, we will be splitting that specialization progression into a linear level and a specialization tree. Wow, okay. I'm very excited, guys. I'm very excited. As someone who plays what I've been playing a lot recently, like Elder Scrolls and stuff, where you have like really like deep trees and stuff and MMOs and stuff. This excites me. Let's see what it says. So the linear level progression. In the current design, much of the existing specialization tree is mandatory. Agents can spend their points into improving signature weapon damage and ammo acquisition, also requiring to manually add and remove individual elements whenever you decide to try out new weapons. To better fit with our ambition to create a more bespoke experience for all specializations, these elements will be moved into a strictly linear level system. This is where you'll unlock your skill variants, specialization sidearm and upgrades, and signature weapon power. Or this is where the power increase comes from perks will be moved here once they've been reviewed and tuned. Once you've unlocked these benefits, they will remain permanently on your character as long as you have that specialization active. This linear level progression will also reward you with specialization points to spend in the new specialization tree. So this is really good. So instead of going back to your specialization and changing a few things for this build, and this will basically allow you to you open up like a certain amount of stuff, and that's just present on every single time you have that specialization active. And then obviously on the deep end of that, we have the tree, which will allow you to customize it in a certain way for a specific playstyle. And let's see what it's got to say about the specialization tree, guys, because I'm telling you what, before I read this, or before I'm reading this, someone put on my Twitter about this exact thing, and I was like, do you know what, I'd love this. I'd love to see some kind of like deep tree. So this is obviously a sneak peek, but let's see what it's got to say. So the specialization tree. Thanks to the addition of the linear progression system, we will be entirely reviewing the specialization tree to provide a stronger focus on customization and choice to the players. Importantly, there will not be enough specialization points to purchase every perk on the tree. Instead, you'll need to choose what perks best fit your playstyle. That is, again, perfect. Okay, so that's exactly what I think a lot of people want from specializations. They want it to be more customizable. They want it to be a case where, you know what, if I'm in PvP and I'm running, you know, this SMG with this gear, then I know I need those perks from that tree, and so I'm going to put my points into that tree. Or maybe I don't want to do, you know, I don't want to put out loads of damage, and maybe I just want to have maybe some health here. Well, maybe I should have this type of tree. The experience you get from like an MMO or something like that. This is perfect. Sounds perfect for me. The specialization tree focuses on 3 elements: signature weapons, armor kits, and grenades. For grenades and armor kits, we want to provide alternate uses for these consumables which may be triggered instantly in addition to their standard behavior. The tree permits agents to pick whether their armor kits and grenades have these alternate quick uses and invest in additional specialization points to improve them. Okay, I wonder how that's going to work then. I wonder what it'll be. What that will be. Will it be like a case of, well, if you put it into armor kits, maybe, you know, you apply this armor kit and it gives you 30% healing over, you know, 2 seconds, and it can get really strong. And the same with grenades, where it could be a case that something like, oh, what's that talent that's absolutely useless? Mad Bomber? Something like that. I think it's Mad Bomber talent, where grenades are so underpowered in this game that there's no point in having a talent like Mad Bomber. Well, if you can customize your tree to the point where grenades are actually really powerful, then Mad Bomber could become a talent that's worth investing in. And so those talents that used to be useless might actually become useful as a result of these changes. And again, this is a sneak peek, so I don't know what they're going to do with that, but this is what it sounded like to me. Moving on, for the signature weapons, we want to allow players to customize their behavior and invest specialization points to increase the impact those choices might have. This will be meaningless addition without the ability to make named weapons vulnerable to signature weapon damage. So we are implementing a system to make that possible. This will be meaningless addition without the ability to make named weapons vulnerable to signature weapon damage. I'm not sure exactly. I don't know what that means. Maybe I'm not reading that correctly. Leave it in the comments below. How am I meant to be reading that? Because I'm not sure I get what that means. Additionally, we want the whole specialization tree to be valid in all game modes, and this means that we are introducing the signature weapons to PvP, or reintroduced. I haven't played PvP for so long, I didn't even know that signature weapons were not a thing in PvP. But there we go. We want all players to enjoy, benefit from these new balancing efforts and improved experience. To avoid seeing signature weapons become the ultimate ambush tools, agents will be treated the same way as named weapons when it comes to signature weapon damage. This will require significant balancing and tuning, so we'll be watching build and player performance closely. To avoid seeing signature weapons become the ultimate ambush tools, agents will be treated the same way as named enemies when it comes to signature weapon damage. Okay, the power of choice. While a specialization and its signature weapon are tied, that would be no longer true for their mods, skill variants, and sidearms anymore. But sufficiently leveling up a specialization, you will unlock these formerly specialization restricted specific items for use by other specializations. Okay, cool. Want to use the Artificer Hive with the Mortar Turret while wielding the Survivalist D50? You'll be able to do just that. So it's going to be a case that you unlock a certain amount of stuff which can be used across all of the specializations, and in this case, as you've seen, it could what we have now as restricted mods and variants and sidearms will not be restricted anymore. You'll be able to use that across every single one of the specializations. What makes them unique is the specialization tree that comes with those specializations, and of course you have a restricted number of points, so you have to invest them wisely in the build that you want. So say if I'm running the build that I've been using for so long now, which is a skill damage build basically, then I'm going to want to invest all my points into making that build as powerful as possible. But if I just decide to go for a healer build, then it would be different, of course, and the gear would change and everything else would change. As you might guess, these changes, among other exciting improvements to come with our next update, are quite a complex topic to handle, and we want to take the time to deliver the best experience for you all. In the meantime, good hunting, Trick Dempsey, expert game designer. So I've got to admit, guys, I think there's only a little bit at the end. We'll just see what it says at the end here. This is all for today, agents. We are looking forward to bringing these changes and many others to keep on improving the core experience of the Division 2. Keep an eye out for future news, and don't forget to check our next Intelligence Annex in November. So, guys, I've got to admit, this is exactly the type of system I think that I want. If it in my head, if it's going to come out the way I'm thinking it's going to come out, then it's going to be great. And it's going to be exactly what I'd want from a game like this. It's something that really does... you can imagine the amount of build videos that are now going to come up on YouTube once this goes live is going to be insane, because this increases the build variety tenfold. I can't even, and that doesn't include all the new stuff that's coming. So this is going to be a huge change to the game, and more importantly, it does mean that specializations, at least in their tree, are going to be way more involved in the end game. they're going to be something that you, whenever you make a build, you really have to go into that specialization tree and make sure it's set up correctly so that you're getting the absolute best out of that build. They're going to be important again. Now, they haven't actually talked about the specialization weapons themselves, I don't believe, unless, again, I was reading that one line wrong. As I've said before, I do want specialization weapons to be powerful. Someone came up with the idea that they should make the ammo for specializations rare, but really powerful, and I think that was a good idea. I don't know what they're doing with weapons here. Am I reading this wrong, guys? Let me know in the comments below. Am I reading something here where it doesn't actually even talk about how the... I know they said something about named weapons, and I'm not sure I'm getting exactly what that means. To avoid seeing signature weapons become the ultimate ambush tools, agents will be treated the same way as named enemies when it comes to signature weapon damage. This will require... So I'm not sure exactly what that means. Does that mean that you're, as an agent, you're going to be severely impacted? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. I can't quite make out what that means. I don't know. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this looks like. I'm looking forward to seeing how deep this is. Because if this is just a case of, you've got an armor kit and you've got 3 options... That's not good enough for me. You want a lot of options. You want something like a tree that you would get from an MMO, like from Elder Scrolls or whatever it might be. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think about this. I'm rushing because I want to see what everyone's got to say on Twitter about this, see how people are taking this. Personally, I'm excited to see more about this. This has me excited, but I do want to see more. To see exactly what it is we're getting, because a lot of this stuff sounds good on paper, but until it's implemented and it's being used and how it's hard to say. My initial impressions are great, and I'm probably going to make a video on that anyway. Thanks for watching. Until the next one, Epic out.